Welcome back, Las Cruces Public Schools. Coming up in this edition of Super News, an annual tradition at Tombaugh that takes us beyond the stars. Why a teacher at Central Elementary is getting national recognition, and how students at Monte Vista are heating things up for New Mexico. All this and more coming up on Super News.
Welcome to our March episode of Super News. I'm your host, Samantha Lewis. Here at Las Cruces Public Schools, we have many wonderful educators that go above and beyond for students every day. Over at Central Elementary, you can find Laura Bryant engaging in classroom lessons with her students. In her class, students learn lessons in reading, writing, math, and more in both English and Spanish.
I love that I'm a dual language teacher because I have students in my classroom who have a desire to not just be bilingual, but also biliterate. I myself am bilingual and biliterate, and that's just one of the things that I love about being in the classroom with them, and the fact that we're not just learning how to speak in one language, but in two languages, and not just conversational, but also academic.
Chosen from hundreds of nominations, Mrs. Bryant was among 30 educators in 22 states selected for the recognition of the 2023 Class of Extraordinary Educators. In order to be selected, Mrs. Bryant demonstrated innovation, engagement practices for student achievement, and being a champion for equity.
The way our curriculum is designed, which I love, it's designed for the teacher to be a facilitator and the students to explore, develop, and refine the skill that we're learning about. So we have a problem. They use all their background knowledge, the previous skills that they have learned, strategies that have learned previously in math, and use those skills to apply them in the new content. In today's lesson, or in the new skill. In today's lesson, we were learning about area.
With her lessons, students in Miss Bryant's class have a common goal to encourage their peers to think outside of the box. Students uplift each other with words of encouragement while taking turns solving math problems on the interactive smartboard.
Or the prerequisite for this skill is they need to have and understand multiplication. They need to understand that multiplication is repeated addition, that multiplication is at this grade level equal groups with equal amount of quantities in each group. So also multiplication, in the previous lessons they learned how to use arrays to find the product of a multiplication problem. So the fact that they had that foundation with arrays, when they saw area and that we can use square units to find area, they instantly made a connection between arrays, and they just applied and transferred that skill into area and took off with it, as you were able to see today in the class.
Students enjoy solving math problems using different methods. Mrs. Bryant says she's always had a passion for education and is inspired by her students every day. Mrs. Bryant will be invited to participate and present at the Extraordinary Educators Leadership Summit and other professional learning events. In honor of Clyde Tombaugh, every year students and staff at Tombaugh Elementary are invited for a night of stargazing. LCPS TV shows you why this event is out of this world.
We are so honored, and we have a wonderful photo gallery in our school honoring Clyde Tombaugh and his many accomplishments in space science.
Tombaugh Elementary was named after American astronomer Dr. Clyde Tombaugh. Born in 1906, by 1925, Tombaugh built his very first telescope. He would later go on to build more than 30 telescopes in his lifetime. Well known for his innovation, Tombaugh took parts from a Buick to construct a 23-centimeter reflector. He went on to use his reflector to observe planets like Jupiter and Mars. This landed Tombaugh a job as a junior astronomer, and by 1930, Tombaugh would go on to discover Pluto. This is why each year in February, the community is invited to celebrate Dr. Clyde Tombaugh on the month of his birthday, for a fun night of STEM activities and stargazing to honor his life and to reflect his discoveries. The event included many STEM activities, an indoor planetarium, and when the sun went down, families enjoyed learning about the stars and planets in space.
It's definitely a lot of fun. You get to go and look at the stars outside in the telescopes. The teacher set up a bunch of different little activities you can do. And there's this little bubble tent that I absolutely love because it tells a story about the star constellations that is in the cafeteria.
I maybe be a scientist to learn about more. And then you can give them more knowledge to learn about stuff. And then like next time they want to learn about it, they can tell the teacher and say, can you learn about this?
A group of 5th graders at Monte Vista Elementary is making national headlines. We show you how these young lobbyists are spicing things up for our state. During the legislative session, students at Monte Vista Elementary presented a bill that would formally adopt the smell of roasted green chili in the fall as New Mexico's state aroma. Students answered questions from the committee and highlighted that New Mexico would be the very first state with its own aroma. They also talked about how this could help boost tourism, driving more people to our unique state.
Well, today was really cool because I got to talk to the senator today. And I think it was cool because we got to answer questions about how we can make the state aroma, like the smell for the state aroma.
The green chili and the red chili are a part of our culture and our tradition. Everywhere you go, there's at least one tradition that a state has. In New Mexico, we like to make a lot of spicy foods and Mexican foods.
The bill passed in the committee, Senate, and is now making its way to the House. Thank you all for joining us for the March episode of Super News. For more news happening around the district, be sure to like and to subscribe on our LCPS YouTube channel. We'll see you in April.